From basketball to volleyball, CPHS 6 covers the sports. Exciting local high school and community sports can only be found on CPHS 6. Home entertainment with a touch of class.
Cablecast of what in recent years has been the game of the season. It's Port Huron Northern against Port Huron High. My name's Eric Rucker. Joining us in the booth, our good friend Jim Schultz. Jim, as in recent years, this game tonight could be just one intensive battle.
Oh, it's definitely going to be that, Eric. This is the Michigan State game of Port Huron, Eric, and I'd like to thank you for being back here doing the play-by-play tonight and taking that monkey off my back, Eric, because I didn't do very well without you last week.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back, and I'm looking forward to a real good football game tonight. The temperature just a few moments ago hovering around 65 degrees. If I might borrow the line from the Times-Herald last night, it's showdown at sundown here at Memorial Stadium. There's got to be, Jim, 7,000 plus fans right now in the stadium.
The stadium is absolutely packed, Eric. Both on each side of the field at the end zone, there's standing room only, Eric, and the electricity in this crowd is unbelievably high, and I want to tell you, it's very exciting for me also.
The key to tonight's ball game, I think everyone is concerned about some injuries that have occurred on both sides of the field. We'll get into that in a few moments. We'll await Chuck Lutz's introductions of the starting lineups. But Jim, how do the Big Reds and the Huskies compare with total offensive criteria?
Well, Eric, first of all, the Big Reds, they like to run the ball 80% of the time and pass 20% of the time. On the other side of the coin, the Huskies like to run the ball 60% of the time, even though at the run and shoot where a person would think that it might be a little less percentage of the run and a higher percentage of the pass, but they pass the ball about 40% of the time.
Both teams come into tonight's contest with identical 3-1 records, and even more close, Jim, of course, the lone loss by each school to tough Grosse Pointe South at Grosse Pointe South. How did those stats match up in each of those ball games?
Well, for example, what happened down to Grosse Pointe South, and again, Eric, the home field advantage might have been the difference in that particular ball game. The Port Huron Big Reds, they had 9 first downs, and the Huskies had 9. Rushing yards, for example, the Reds had 174 rushing. The Port Huron Huskies had 129. Passing yards, Port Huron Big Reds had 113. Port Huron Northern Huskies had 120. The Big Reds completed 10 of 17 passes. The Huskies completed 9 of 19. The fumbles in the fumbles category, Eric.
The voice of the Big Reds, Mr. Chuck Lutz, in tonight's starting lineup. Tonight's ball game, ladies and gentlemen, in either case, not really a home or away game. It's a home game for both teams. The Northern Huskies wearing the blue or the gold and white, as the remaining Huskies take the field. The Big Reds wearing the home uniforms this year, the red and white with the dark and red jerseys. Jim, in either case, not really Reds now being introduced offensively. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's just a bubbling out of the crowd. Again, it's very, very exciting. Another thing that I noticed, and I'm sure the TV viewers also noticed, a very, very nice sight, Eric, to see the Big Reds marching band and the Huskies marching band out there just before the game started, out there playing on the field together, and that's a beautiful sight to see.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful sight at Memorial Stadium, the sun just going down over the west. And if you weren't here by 6:45, Jim, you were hard-pressed to find a seat.
Oh, exactly. You know, that's where the standing room area come into play there. And both sides of the stadium, Eric, they had ushers to make sure that all the seats were being filled at the particular stadium and in the permanent stadium as it was, Eric, and they did a very, very good job of making sure everybody got a seat there before they started using the in-zone seating.
The co-captains just taking the flip as signaled by the official. Portier Northern has won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half. The Big Reds have chosen to receive, and the Northern defense will defend the north goal here at Memorial Stadium as we begin preparations to get started. A key Eastern Michigan League contest, both teams still alive for a potential Eastern Michigan League championship, but Jim, I would think that that's not even the main criteria for tonight. It's Northern against High, and all the hard work and all the preparation culminates here in just a few moments.
Yeah, the one-loss record right now, Eric, for these particular players on the field, they could be 0-4 right now, Eric, and it wouldn't make a difference. These teams are going to go at each other tooth and tongue, and make no mistakes, there's going to be a lot of hard hitting out there.
We're set to go. Deep for the Big Reds, Henry Hayden, number 33. Number 31 is Jeffrey Johnson. Kicking off for Northern, number 21, Rod Fleet. Nice, high, long kick. The ball's taken down at about the 3-yard line by Hayden. Hayden looking for a seam, crosses the 20 out to about the 23, where the Big Reds will put the ball in play. 1st and 10, they move from our left to our right.
The other thing that's going to be a little crazy tonight, Eric, is that you won't see one side of the stadium versus the other side of the stadium be outdone as far as the rooting, Eric. It's really something.
The ball marked at their own 24, 1st down and 10. And right now, Jim, I can tell you that's one of the big stories right now. Starting in the offensive backfield, it looks like number 31, Jeff Johnson. Ball's given off to Mullins, the fullback. The first man through up the middle, maybe a gain of 1. We'll call it 2nd down and 9, just underway here at Memorial Stadium. Port Huron Northern against Port Huron High.
Looks like what the Big Reds want to do here, Eric, is see if they can establish a running game. They've come out with a tight defense, or excuse me, a tight offensive line, and they're going to see if they can open up some holes for their particular halfbacks and fullbacks there.
Again, the outstanding runner for Port Huron High, Chris Lasik, injured, may not play at all tonight. The pitch is to Jeffrey Johnson. He's across the 30 out to about the 33. Close for a 1st down. We'll see where they mark the ball.
I want to tell you, now that Jeff Johnson, which is stepping into the shoes right now of Chris Lasik, he is one quick runner, Eric. If you give him some room, he'll be able to break it.
A pickup of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 1 now, and right off the bat, one of the early key plays of the ball game. Again, out of the I formation with Mullins, the fullback. Jeff Johnson, the halfback. The ball's given off to Mullins. It looks like he may have enough for the 1st down, depending on where they mark the ball. It is a first down, it appears, according to the referees, and it is. 1st and 10 for Port Huron High. The ball just outside their own 35.
Big series of downs there, Eric, for the Big Reds, because they've got the first down with the very first possession, and that's always a big series.
Double wideouts now for Port Huron High, out of the I formation. Ashford and Diggins wide right. Carpenter across, intercepted by the Northern Huskies, number 31. That is Norm Cosgrove, a 5'10", 155-pound junior defensive back. And Jim, Norm Cosgrove was one of the injured players last week for Port Huron Northern against Flint Northern, and it's good to see him out there.
Yeah, it's good to have Cosgrove back out there, and I'm sure the Huskies are happy to have him there too. Anytime you miss a starting defensive cornerback, it plays a big play there, right?
Jamison is wide left. It looks like Clark wide right. Dan Larison, the fine quarterback for the Huskies, in motion, number 13. Brian Hanton. The ball's given off to number 43, Tim Schneider, the fullback, and he crosses the 40 down to about the 38. It'll be a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6 now for Northern at the Big Red 38-yard line. And Jim, the turnover early here in the first quarter, a big factor.
Yeah, that could be a very, very big factor. Now they're going to test the Big Reds' defense and see if they're going to be able to hold them. What Coach Delkey wants to do here is he wants to establish his running game to tighten up the Big Reds' defense and then make his run-and-shoot offensive passing game go.
Chris Gendron, number 84, is wide left now for Northern. Clark is wide right. In motion is Porty. The ball is given off to Porty off the left side across the 35 down to about the 32. 33 is where they'll mark the ball. Pickup of 6. It'll be 3rd down, and it looks like a long 2.
And again, Eric, as we talked as the Big Reds, when they first had their offensive possession on the first series of down, this is a big first down for the Huskies, Eric, to be able to establish a momentum as far as their offense of building confidence and to be able to move the ball.
Into the ball game for Northern is Brian Jamison, number 12. He's wide left. Clark is wide right. In motion goes number 21, Rod Fleet. Larison rolling out to his right on the bootleg. Crosses the 25 down to about the 21, where Northern will have it 1st down and 10 at the Big Red 21-yard line. They move from our right to our left. The Big Reds defending the south end zone here at Memorial Stadium.
Take that particular play, Eric, that you just seen and concentrate on that play this evening, Eric. I believe the Big Reds will probably be able to contain the receivers, but will they be able to contain Larson on the rollout? And on the same token, it might be on the flip of the coin, doing the same thing with Carpenter.
The ball is given off to Porty, the motion man. He crosses the 15 down to about the 14. Pickup of 8. We'll call it 2nd down now and 2. The ball at the 14.
Porty's been a good workhorse for the Husky offensive, Eric. So far, he's rushed for 31 times for 154 yards for an average of 5 yards per carry. I know they've credited Snyder, and he's a dandy, but Porty's been right in there working hard also.
Big 2nd and 2 now for Northern. The ball at the Big Red 14. 7:05 and counting first quarter. In motion, Rod Fleet, number 21. It's 1st down yardage for Fleet on the counter. The ball is marked now inside the 10 at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal now for Northern.
The Huskies like to use that movement going the other way and give it to the back, cross and back across, Eric, and it's worked very well so far this season.
It's Gendron wide left now, Clark wide right. In motion is Brian Hanton, number 13. The ball's given off to Hanton, and he is stuffed at about the 10. It'll be a loss of 1. 2nd and goal now from the 10.
Very, very good play by the Port Huron Reds defense, Eric, to be able to stop them on that particular play. It also gives them a little bit of confidence as far as the rush is concerned against them.
This drive for Northern starting at the Big Red 42-yard line following the interception by Norm Cosgrove. 6 minutes exactly now. In motion is Hanton. The ball's given off to Hampton, and he is in for the touchdown. So at the 5:51 mark of the first quarter, Port Northern has scored first in this inner-city battle, and they lead by 6.
Great. We spoke about that play before, although they have not used that too much this year as far as Larson rolling and keeping it and turning the corner. I think it's something that the Big Reds hadn't seen, possibly in their scouting reports, but Larson's a very good athlete, and it's something to contend with tonight in tonight's game.
Out of the hold of Matt Glatchen, Brian Hampton's kick is good. And with 5:51 to go in the first quarter, it's Northern 7, the Big Reds nothing.
Turnover, Eric, that's what we have to talk about in that particular drive with coughing the ball up in pretty good field position. And then the Huskies was able to capitalize on that turnover and take it in for the 6 and then the extra point to make it 7.
Well, momentum has been an important and key factor in games in recent years here at Memorial Stadium, Jim, between these two teams. And why it's early, I'll tell you what, we've had some wild and crazy things happen throughout the entire ball games here in recent years amongst these two teams. Johnson and Hayden are deep for the Big Reds. Rod Fleet's kick. Short, taken by Diggins at about the 25. Looking for a block, gets a couple. Breaks the seam out to the 45, 46-yard line, where he's finally brought down by number 47 for the Northern Huskies. That's Bill Robinson.
Diggins showed me something there, Eric, where he was able to pick the holes and not just tuck his head straight down. He looked for his holes and made a nice gain out of it. Pretty good field position for the Big Reds, Eric.
That it is, Jim, and that can be ever so important in a contest such as this. 1st and 10 at their own 46. They move from our left to our right. The Huskies defending the north end zone. Jeff Johnson gets outside. He fights his way across the 50 down to about the 46, where he is tackled by number 22 for the Huskies is Scott Fleet.
This Jeff Johnson, even though he hasn't really been a starter this season, Eric, he's a fine one, and we'll have him back again next year as far as the Big Reds is concerned.
Oh, he's an exciting runner.
Eric, you had him over there at Central, didn't you, when you coached?
As a 7th and 8th grader, he was an exciting runner. Carpenter on the double fake, play action pass, going for number 87 is the intended receiver. That's Bill Williams, incomplete. And how unfortunate for the Big Reds as he was out there and beyond the secondary by a good 5 yards.
Well thrown pass by Aaron Carpenter, Eric. The last particular interception, he kind of forced that throw into the coverage and was picked off, but that one there was well thrown. Aaron Carpenter, for a sophomore, so far this season has showed a lot of composure. And again, it'll be a telltale sign for the Big Reds this evening as well as Carpenter holds his composure.
Out of the I formation, wing left. In motion is Ashford. The ball is given off to Johnson. He crosses the 45 to the 44. And again, see where they spot the ball.
Looks very, very close to the first down, and it looks like, if I was to guess, they got it. And again, Eric, as far as the Big Reds is concerned, that's a plus for the Big Reds, because both times that they've had the ball, they've been able to move the ball, although they had the interception when Carpenter threw into the coverage.
Give credit to Coach Rodenbaugh on 2nd down and short yardage with the play action pass. Could have been 6.
Yeah, and yep, it certainly could have. I think Coach Rodenbaugh, he has opened up the offense a little bit this year compared to what he did last year, and seems to be a lot more successful. By no means am I second guessing it. It might be just the personnel that he has this year, where the difference in personnel from last year.
Well, the Big Reds get that first down against this very, very stingy Northern defense. 1st and 10 at the 44. In motion is Ashford. The ball's given off to Ryan Mullins, the fullback. He barrels his way across the 40 down to the 39. Pickup of 5, where the Big Reds will have it 2nd and 5. And I'll tell you, Jim, the Big Reds will be doing a very, very fine job if they're able to contain a drive against this Northern defense.
Oh, yeah. The Northern defense is, even though they're small, Eric, has played exceptionally well. And I want to tell you, we're seeing two very, very good football teams out there, and very well could be 3-0 or 4-0 right now.
Out of the I formation, and there is a flag. It could be encroachment, depending on whether they were drawn off. We'll see what the call is. And it is encroachment offsides against the Northern defense. Anticipating the count, and the Big Reds with the long count.
Yeah, it's been part of the Huskies' success this year, Eric. Even though they're small on that defensive line, they're very, very quick. Now, they like to slant and get into the backfield just as quickly as they possibly can, and they've been doing that very successful.
The 5-yard mark-off gives the Big Reds yet another first down on this drive that started at their own 45. Carpenter off to Johnson, and he is tackled at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, number 44 on a fine tackle for Northern. That is Joel Stoner. Joel, a 5'9", 160-pound senior defensive lineman. Clock running here in the first quarter. 3:20 to go. Northern 7, the Big Reds nothing. Now into the ball game for Port Huron High. Number 33 is Henry Hayden, giving Jeff Johnson a breather. He'll run out of the I formation as the tailback. Mullins is the fullback. The pitch goes to Hayden. The block by Mullins, good. Henry Hayden down to about the 30. Pickup of 4.
One of the reasons, Eric, that Hayden, Johnson, and Lasik has been successful running the ball is number 19, Ryan Mullins. He's a very big, strong fullback, Eric, and he throws an awful good block. Has sprung that for the yardage that was gained there as he took out the defensive end there, Eric.
A big 3rd and 7 now for the Big Reds. Double wideouts for the Big Reds, Diggins and Ashford. Carpenter rolling out, throwing downfield. It's caught by Diggins at about the 10-yard line. He's tackled by number 24 for the Northern Huskies, Tim Hamill. And the pass reception good for 27 yards. Aaron Carpenter to T.J. Diggins.
You got to credit that all to T.J. Diggins there, Eric. That ball was overthrown, but Diggins has got those awful large, big hands, long fingers, and went up and pulled it down. Diggins has been the leading receiver on the Big Reds team this year.
And this is where the Northern defense can be so stingy. 1st and goal at the 4. The pitch is to Johnson, and he's going to be stuffed at the 5. No gain, possibly a loss of a yard, depending on where they mark the ball. In on the stop, a host of Northern defenders, led by number 99, is Sean Gladwish. Into the ball game for the Big Reds, number 87. That is Bill Williams. The ball is marked at the 4. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and goal. The Big Reds knocking on the door as the Huskies defend the north end zone here at Memorial Stadium. Carpenter rolls out to his left, looking to throw. Now he'll take it, and he's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown. The 4-yard scamper on the bootleg by Aaron Carpenter, and the Big Reds are on the scoreboard.
Eric, that's exactly the same play that scored the touchdown for the Huskies, Eric, the quarterback keeper, with the option of throwing it. And again, very, very hard to defense against it. And we got 2 fine offensive quarterbacks going at each other, Eric.
Well, this drive from their own 45 after the fine run back on the kickoff by T.J. Diggins, and the Big Reds now attempting to tie the score out of the hold of Ryan Mullins. Matt Scheffler, number 11, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 1:23 to go in the first quarter, the Big Reds 7, the Huskies 7, and what a ball game.
What a ball game, and just a game that we were expecting here. Another fine, interesting point on that. Number 11 who kicked that particular ball is Matt Scheffler. He's a sophomore. And to be able to build confidence into a young gentleman like that here in the kicking game is an important thing, because he's got 2 more years to kick after this season. Kicking game, as we talked about before, very, very important.
Well, last year's score, Jim, Northern 28, the Big Reds 27. Who can forget for 2 years in a row the try for the extra point at the end of the game, a 2-point conversion going for the win, and the Northern defense holding off the Big Reds. We're off and running with 1:23 to go in the first quarter, and we're tied at 7.
Yes, two years in a row, Eric, where your Northern has beat the Big Reds by a point, Eric. So you can see where that kicking game comes in. I'll tell you, I'm just so freaking excited that I can just cry almost.
Well, both teams in recent years, at least the last couple, have been kind of timid in the first half. Not this time, though. It looks like they're going all out right from the get-go.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's how they always play.
Paul Churchill's kick. Little razzle-dazzle by the Northern Huskies, and 18, Greg Clark looking for a block. He's got some room out to about the 26, where he'll be run out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, I give credit to the Northern coaching staff on some razzle-dazzle off the bat here.
Yeah, you know, like I say, there would be no holes barred in this particular game here.
That's a courageous play. 2 handoffs and a pitch on the kickoff return. The ball will be marked at the 28-yard line, where Northern will have it first down and 10. Jamison wide left, Clark wide right. In motion is Hampton, I'm sorry. The ball's given off to Hampton, and he fights his way, barreling out across the 30 to the 35. That looks like there is a flag on the play. We'll wait and see.
First flag of the game, Eric.
Nope, what it was a errant towel from quarterback Larison on the sidelines.
Oh, no kidding. I'll be darned. This sure looked like a flag from here, didn't it?
It sure did. At any rate, a gain of 7, second down and 3 now, the ball at the 35. Gendron wide left, Clark wide right. In motion, number 21, Rod Fleet. Larison rolling to his right, throwing and incomplete. Pass knocked down by number 40, Dougie Moore, on a fine defensive play. Pass intended for Gendron, number 84, it looked like.
You know, the crazy thing about, you know, as far as doing this particular game, Eric, it's such an exciting ball game, and we're looking forward to watching it so much. Sometimes you forget what the heck we're supposed to be doing up here in the booth.
Wow. Did you get your raise this week?
No.
Neither did I, so they have to put up with us, I guess. Stop of the clock with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's third down and 3 now for Northern. In motion is Hampton. Quick pass over the middle, incomplete, intended for number 21, Rod Fleet, and Coach Delkey is using all kinds of running backs back there. I've seen 4 and 5 different combinations now.
Yeah, like we talked about here, the adjustments that's going to be made ongoing in this particular game by both the offense and the defensive units, by the coaches of the respective units, is going to be very, very interesting also.
Well, defensively, Northern comes up with the big turnover, which leads to their score. The Big Reds here stopping the Husky offense on their first time. Bad snap, but Hampton gets the kick away. And the ball takes a Big Red bounce and goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Give credit to Brian Hampton on the snap, a low snap, recovering and getting a punt away, putting Big Reds now first and 10 at their own 40.
As far as the kicking game, Eric, Hampton so far this year has averaged just about 33 yards per punt, and very, very comparable to the Big Reds punter, Eric, where they've been averaging around 34 yards. So the punting game, the ball goes according to Hoyle, so far as it has this season, they're very, very comparable.
Well, with 39 seconds to go, the Big Reds have it first and 10. The ball's given off to number 19, Mullins, the second man through. Pickup of 5, maybe 4. We'll call it second down and 6. The ball will be at the 43.
Eric, another thing we hadn't talked about very much, too much, is Chris Lasik being out. Although it's so far has not hurt the Big Reds offensive unit at all. What I'd like to speak about is possibly the disappointment for Chris not being able to play in this particular game. I know that he wished he was in there.
Final play of the first quarter if they get it away, and they do. Time is run out. The ball's given off on the power to Jeff Johnson. He barrels his way out to about the 48-47, a pickup of 4. And as the first quarter comes to a close, we want to tell you folks, don't go away. This is going to be a great one. It's 7-7 here on Channel 6. We'll be right back. Set to go. Starting to the second quarter, the Big Reds now move from our right to our left. The Northern Huskies defending the south end zone out of the shotgun formation. Aaron Carpenter erecting for Marlon Ashford, and just out of his reach at about the 40. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down now and 2, and the Big Reds facing a punting situation.
Interesting, Eric. They went right with the shotgun on that particular play.
Well, it appeared like they were going to try to catch the Northern defense off guard. Not so. They were right there with Marlin, but the pass just off his fingertips.
Like both teams, Eric, the Huskies might bend a little bit, but they certainly won't break, Eric, and it's the same story on the other side of the field.
Joe Johnston into punt now for the Big Reds, going deep for Northern. Looks like Greg Clark. Johnson's punt, high to the left. Clark has it at about the 20. He dodges 1, 2 tacklers and fights his way out to the 30, where Northern will have it 1st down and 10, and some clever running by Greg Clark.
Yeah, very, very good. You know, he started to his right, Eric, and then come back to the left, and doggone it, there was only 2 people there to stop him, and one of them was the kicker.
Well, Greg, the fine receiver for the Northern Huskies, 5'10", 150-pound senior. With 11:45 to go in the first half, we're tied at 7. Northern has it 1st down and 10 at their own 31.
When the Huskies want to go deep, look for Greg Clark, Eric. He's the one that they like to send deep on the deep patterns.
In motion is Hampton. The ball is given off to the fullback, number 43.
Tackled in there by Chris Duncan, and wow, that was about a heck of a hit. When you see that same kind of hit on both sides of the field, whoa.
I stand corrected, number 34, Jason Coleman, the 5'10", 165-pound sophomore fullback, giving Tim Schneider a break.
I believe the Huskies has got to establish a running attack to take the pressure off their passing attack.
In motion is Porty. The ball is given off to Porty, off the left side, and he's stuffed across the line of scrimmage. A gain maybe of a yard. We'll call it 3rd down and 7 from the 34. Actually, it's out to the 35. Where it'll be 3rd down now and 6 for Northern. Big play here early in the 2nd quarter. I'll tell you, I don't know if they're still coming in, Jim, but it is standing room only, and I don't think I've ever seen so many people here at Memorial Stadium.
What a beautiful evening. That also brought them out too, Eric.
Play action pass, Larison across, intended for 84, Gendron, incomplete at the 45. In on the coverage, number 24 is Doyle Cleland for the Big Reds. A punting situation now for Northern.
Yeah, Eric, just tossed out off the fingertips. The receivers are running nice patterns. The quarterbacks are throwing extremely well. I mean, you know, when you're only talking 1 football length difference in being able to receive the ball or not receive the ball, that's some pretty good throwing, Eric.
Brian Hampton will do the punting for Northern. Going deep for the Big Reds is number 44, TJ Diggins, and number 19, Ryan Mullins. Good snap this time, nice. High spiral coming down at the 30 and takes a roll out of bounds on the far side of the field, where Port Huron High will have it 1st down and 10 from their own 30. And now we've got some flag throwing, and we'll see what the call is. The referee is signaling to return the down markers, and this could be a call intended for Port Huron. Let's see.
Well, it looks like to me the referee is signaling 1st down. It'd be interesting to see what that particular call was.
Okay, it's illegal participation, it appears. Too many men on the field on the punt. And we'll see what the call will be. Or we'll see what the penalty results in, I should say. Getting my tongue twisted.
Now, if that's, well, that's a big one, Eric. I thought if it was a 5-yard penalty, wouldn't have thought that would give him the 1st down, but that's a 15-yarder, and that's a big penalty, Eric.
Yes, it is, and that's unfortunate. Little misunderstanding along the sidelines, it appears. Northern with a big break with 10:23 to go in the first half. They now have the ball 1st down and 10 in Port Huron High territory, just inside the 50. In motion is Hampton. The ball's given off to the fullback, Schneider, and he gets possibly a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. From the 49. Into the ball game for Northern is 84, Greg Gendron. I'm sorry, Chris Gendron. Chris, a 5'10", 145-pound senior wide receiver. He goes wide right, and Clark is wide left. In motion is Rod Fleet. Larison looking to his right, across the middle, incomplete, intended for Gendron. On the quick slant pass, it'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Northern from the Big Red 49.
I believe, Eric, that particular pass is the quick passes is what the Huskies are going to need to do to make their passing game a little more effective tonight against the Reds defense.
Okay, big play offensively now for Northern. 3rd down and 9. In motion is Brian Hinton. Larison looking to his right. A pass caught by Gendron at the 35. 1st down. Northern in on the tackle, number 22, Andy Ely for Port Huron High. Looks like almost the same play.
Almost exactly the same play, except that he didn't take the same slant in, Eric. He slanted a little bit, but not quite to the same degree.
And with Northern now at the 35, 1st and 10, little or no wind at all here at Memorial Stadium, and that all-important kicking game could come into a factor.
Oh yeah, definitely, Eric. As you notice, Eric, each coach is going to be looking at to see what the other team will give them, and I think the Huskies made that little bit of an adjustment there.
The ball is given off to Coleman up the middle. He's stuffed by the heart of that defensive line for Port Huron High. Virtually no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Number 30, Norm Keeley on that particular tackle, Eric.
Coleman with the ball carrier, stopped by Duncan and Kemp.
We'll give Coleman a yard on the carry. 2nd down now and a long 9 from the 34. Clock running 8:40 to go. 2nd quarter. We're tied at 7.
The Huskies will try those quick passes, and then they'll try the quick turnout, Eric, to try to go deep if they possibly can.
In motion, Fleet rolling to his right, gets the pass away, and it's caught by Porty, and he's finally brought down by 56, Chris Phillips, the defensive end for Port Huron High. Pickup of about 10, and it looks like it'll be a 1st down. The ball marked at the 24.
Nice job by Larison, Eric, to find that receiver when he was under so much pressure, and he got rid of it in a nice reception there, Eric, for a 1st down.
And how momentum can change in a game like this following the 12 men on the field penalty against Port Huron High after they looked like they forced Northern to punt. In motion, Fleet. Counter to Schneider, and he's racked up at the line of scrimmage by Phillips. Pickup of 3. Pickup of actually 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 20.
A lot of hard hitting going down there, Eric, and I'm sure as the TV viewers can see, if they just keep their eyes away from the ball carrier a lot of time and watch what's going on right into the line, Eric, you'll see that hard hitting.
Clark is now wide right for Northern, and it looks like Jamison is wide left. In motion is Porty.
Rollout pass.
Rollout pass. Looking into the end zone, and it's caught by number 12, Brian Jamison. A 21-yard reception on the play-action rollout, and the Northern Huskies will go up 13-7 over their inner-city rivals from Port Huron High.
Very, very nice thrown pass to the defensive cornerback back there. David Schultz got turned around a little bit and wasn't able to recover, Eric. And Larison put the ball out there in a nice reception.
So with 7:19 to go in the 2nd quarter, Matt Gladchen, the holder. Snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Brian Hinton on the extra point. And our score, the Northern Huskies 14, the Big Red 7. And again, Jim, we'll go to turnovers, and even though on the field it wasn't a turnover, the key penalty on the punt and resulting in giving Northern a 2nd chance.
Very, very costly penalty, Eric, because the Big Reds would have received that punt ball on the 35, and instead they had to give it back. And the Huskies took over on a 1st down approximately around the 50-yard line, Eric, and then was able to move it down the end to score.
Well, number 21, Rod Fleet, a 5'8", 140-pound sophomore to do the kicking duties now for Northern. Deep for Poyer High, 31 is Johnson, 33 is Hayden. Low kick goes down to Johnson at about the 5. And he's going to be hemmed in and nowhere to go, perhaps to the 15. And the defensive front for Northern, a key position. First down and 10 now for Poyer High, the ball at about their own 14.
The Poyer red receiver on that particular kick here, he got kind of snookered there, Eric. He would have wanted it to go out of bounds, and the doggone thing kind of took a kick and would not go out, so he had to pick it up, otherwise it probably would have rolled dead inside the 5.
Ashford and Diggins now are wide left for Poyer High. The ball is given off to Diggins on a quick pass. He crosses the 15, fights his way across the 20 out to about the 24-yard line, where he's wrapped up by number 78 for Northern. That is Sam Bland in on the tackle for the Huskies.
Sam Bland, Eric, for the Huskies, Eric, is leading them defensively in tackles, Eric. Sam has got 25 tackles. He's a good hard-nosed hitter out there, Eric.
A pickup of 10. It's a first down for the Big Reds now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They move from our right to our left. The Huskies defending the south end zone. Carpenter, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss back at his own 20-yard line. In on the sack for Northern, number 31 is Norm Cosgrove. Norm, a 5'10", 160-pound junior.
Rick, you got to credit that play for not going to number 7, the left defensive cornerback of the Huskies, Eric. That pass was supposed to be designed to go to Diggins on the other side, but number 7 come up and took the avenue of the pass away, and then Carpenter had to tuck it in.
Out of the shotgun, 2nd and 16. He rolls to his right. The pass is caught by Ashford, and he will fight his way across the first down marker out to about the 35, where he is wrapped up and thrown out of bounds by number 22 for Northern is Scott Fleet.
Big play there, Eric. I don't know if you can see it on your TV monitor, but they also took the ref out of the play too. He got crunched over there on the sideline.
Marlon Ashford looking for that ever so important first down marker, and he's got it 1st and 10 for Poyer High out at the 35. This drive starting at their own 14.
Both teams offensively, Eric, has been able to move the ball. We got some motion there, and I think very well it's probably going to go against the Big Reds, Eric. Looks like 31 Jeff Johnson jumped off there.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to try to put the fullback in motion. A little bit of confusion, and that's going to be expected when you've got someone new, not accustomed perhaps to some of the things that are going on out there in such a big game as this. He's done a fine job up to this point, filling the shoes of Chris Lasik.
I want to tell you, everybody out there on either side of the field, Eric, offensively and defensively, has played very, very well.
It's now 1st and 15 now. The ball all the way back at the 30. In motion now is Mullins. The pitch goes to Henry Hayden, number 33. He fights to get outside. He will not. Number 7 in on the tackle for Northern.
Henry Hayden was the ball carrier.
And we do not have him listed in our brochure, Jim.
No, number 7, I don't know who that is, but he's made 2 fine defensive plays there in just a short amount of time.
All right, we'll check Northern's stat sheet and see if we can't get the name of that young man who just came up with a fine defensive play. It's going to be now 2nd and 18 for the Big Reds, the ball at their own 27. Carpenter dropping back, looking for Johnson on the screen. Couple good blocks. Johnson looking to break it. He's got 1 man to beat. He may go, and he's rushed out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Call that a 46-yard pickup on the screen pass. Aaron Carpenter to Jeff Johnson, and just like that, the Big Reds have it 1st down and 10.
Big play by the Big Reds here. And Kenneth Johnson, he did a fine job of running there, Eric, and picking up the little bit of blocking that he did have in front of him and turning that into a big gainer. And also credit the Husky defense of getting back from the Husky defense left side to be able to stop that, because I thought Johnson was going to take it in.
With 4:47 to go, first half, Northern 14, the Big Reds 7. Carpenter gives the ball off to Hayden, and on the stop is Cosgrove again, number 31, and he is playing one heck of a ball game defensively for Northern.
We've seen a lot of fine football out there on both sides. You see one team come up with a heck of a nice play, and then you see the defensive squad come right back and make another big play, Eric, and that's sure exciting.
I don't mind to say so myself, number 31, Norman Cosgrove, is my nephew, and he's always been one heck of an athlete.
Yeah, he's a fine athlete, Eric, and also a very, very good student.
Loss of 4 on the play. It's second down and 14 now from the Northern 28. Carpenter sends Ashford in motion to his left. The ball's given off to Mullins, the fullback. He crosses the 25. That's where they'll spot the ball. Pickup of 3. It's third now and 11.
Still a lot of time on the clock, Eric, to be able to punch it in, Eric, with just under 4 minutes. If the Big Reds can keep the drive going.
Bringing the play in from Coach Rodenbaugh, number 87, Bill Williams, and Aaron Carpenter says, hey, fellas, let's talk this one over. With 3:41 to go, Port Huron High has called timeout. It's Northern 14, the Big Red 7. And this game, Jim, as we have said, was going to be a dandy.
Yeah, it sure is. Very, very close. And going out of the field right now, Eric, I don't know if you can see it on the monitor yet, but Chris Lasik, and I know that's sure got to make him feel good.
Well, I'm sure that the play that they probably will use Chris for, if they use him at all, I'll tell you what, it could be a decoy. You never know.
Could be a decoy. He also could be in the alignment for a blocking assignment.
Blocking assignment. At any rate, the Big Reds talking over their strategy.
Lasik has come into the passing game, Eric. He's caught the ball 4 times this year for 23 yards. So his assignment there, not necessarily is just blocking. He's also a fine receiver.
Well, the crowd giving Chris a nice applause and some encouragement, and I'm sure that they're encouraged to see Lasik on the field now in the backfield for the Big Reds. Something not many people were expecting tonight following his injury last week against Grosse Pointe South. We're set to go. The ball's given off to Lasik, and he reverses it to Ashford, and he stays on his feet, gets away from a 32, but he's going to be hemmed in by a ton of Northern defenders. Finally ran out of bounds. Looks like at about the 20.
Yeah, Eric, exactly right. Chris Lasik was kind of a decoy there to try to break Ashford out on the reverse, Eric.
Well, a lot of hard work in there by the Big Reds. Pickup of 4, we'll call it. And it's now 4th down and 9 from their own 21. Jeff Johnson back in the ballgame for Lasik. Ashford and Diggins will go wide right, as will Jeff Johnson, and Carpenter out of the shotgun formation. Looking, throwing, going deep for Ashford, and it's incomplete.
Ashford was open on that particular play, but Aaron Carpenter just overthrew him just a little bit.
The Huskies will take over on downs, 1st down and 10 with a 7-point lead and 3:25 to go in the second half, and you can bet your bottom dollar there's no way the Northern Huskies are going to try to run any clock out with the run and shoot offense. They potentially could score just about on any play that they run.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll be like we talked about earlier, Eric, no holds barred. They're not going to be conservative in this particular position at all, Eric.
Clark's wide right. Looks like Hampton is wide left. I'm sorry, Jamison wide left. In motion is Porty. The ball is given off to Porty on the counter trap, and he is going to be finally brought down by number 10, it looks like, for the Big Reds. That is Stein, I believe. Dougie Moore also in on the stop.
Porty, Eric, is 6'3", 190 pounds, Eric, and he's only a junior, so the Huskies are going to be extremely happy to have him back next year in that backfield.
Gendron bringing the play in from Coach Delkey on the far side. He goes wide left. Clark is wide right. Schneider is the fullback. In motion is Porty again. Same play around the left side, brought down by number 63 for the Big Reds, I believe, is Kemp.
And number 28 in there is Tommy Cope.
40 was an off error on that particular play.
This is, Eric, what you're seeing right there right now for the Huskies, Eric. They're trying to suck the Big Reds defense in just a little bit so they can make that pass go, and they're trying to trick the Big Reds defense. Oh, it looks like a penalty.
Key penalty here against the Northern Huskies, holding against the offense. It'll be a 10-yard mark-off, I believe, from the infraction. And what could have been a first down now becomes 2nd down and 9. The ball all the way back to, we'll call it the 23.
I believe the Huskies has got all their timeouts for this half too, Eric.
I believe you're correct. In motion is Hanton. Larison now looks to his left, throws complete to Hanton. And out of bounds at about the 33. It looks like it'll be a first down.
Two things that happened on that particular play, Eric. The Huskies were able to complete the pass, get a first down, and they also were able to get out of bounds and stop the clock without using the timeout.
Clock is stopped with 2:15 to go, as you can see here in the second quarter. The Northern Huskies 14, the Big Reds 7 in the intercity clash. A game which in recent years has turned out to be perhaps I think the biggest game played here at Memorial Stadium.
Oh yeah, just look at the crowd. They're so excited about this.
Larison on play action, looking downfield, still looking, rolling out, and the pass is caught by Hinton. He's hemmed up and brought down by number 40, Dougie Moore, and number 77, Chris Duncan. Pickup of 8 big yards. It looks like it'll be 2nd down and 2. The ball marked at the 40.
And the crazy thing there is you see Hinton receive that ball. His next priority, Eric, was to take a look at that sideline. He was sure trying to get to that sideline, but old Dougie Moore says, nah, not this time.
Well, Coach Delkey with those 3 timeouts, looking at the clock and deciding, let's go for another one, see what we can do. Wide right now is Clark. Wide left is Jamison.
Watch for the rollout and something going deep, Eric.
In motion is Hanton. Larison looking now back to Schneider, the fullback. Dougie Moore trying to run him down, and finally does before he gets out of bounds.
Nice play by Dougie Moore, Eric, again. And he's leading the Port Huron defense in tackles, I believe, Eric, if I can grab that stat real quick.
It'll be 3rd down now and 4, a loss of 2 on the play. The ball's at the 37. We'll call it the 38.
Yeah, Dougie Moore is definitely leading the Big Reds in tackles, Eric.
Clark wide right. Looks like Gendron wide left. In motion is Fleet. Larison looking to his right, throwing across the middle all by himself is number 18, Greg Clark. He might go all the way. Number 14, David Schultz on a tackle that saves 6 points for Northern, out of bounds at about the 24. A big pickup for Northern. We'll call it 37 yards.
And the thing that's really interesting, Eric, is again, the Huskies have not used up their timeout.
Well, I'll tell you, Greg Clark was all by him lonesome out there.
The Big Reds defense, and a lot of times in this particular situation, Eric, gets, I'm not the second guess by no means, but a lot of times it seems like the Big Reds defensive secondary gets very conservative. And once you get the ball to Clark, he's a very effective runner.
Well, this is a big situation with 32 seconds to go in the first half. Northern up by 7. A score here by any stretch of the imagination doesn't get the Big Reds out of the ball game, but it certainly puts big momentum in Northern's favor and a 10 or possibly bigger than a 10-point lead at halftime.
Well, what it does there, Eric, is it lets the Port Huron Northern Huskies offensively do just about anything they want to, because then they can gamble, slow it down, open it up, and be very selective of what they want to do. And on the other side of the token, the Big Reds would have to be playing catch up, and so consequently, it takes a few cards out of their particular hands.
Well, with 32 seconds, you've got enough time to get off 3, possibly 4 plays, especially if you're able to get the clock stopped on a timeout or out of bounds.
Or incomplete passes, right, Eric?
Incomplete passes. In motion now is Schneider, and that's something we haven't seen much of. The ball's given off to Hampton, 13. He's wrapped up by 56 Phillips and 77 Duncan for the Big Reds. And Coach Delkey calling yet another timeout. And unofficially, he'll have one timeout left. There's 26 seconds to go.
And Eric, that particular play took 5 seconds.
I'm sure that Coach Delkey looking what he can do big play-wise offensively. And, of course, Coach Semmelsberger on the other side of the ball, Jim, looking to say, fellas, we got to stop the big play.
Yeah, what they do not want to do for as far as the Big Reds is concerned, Eric, is give the Huskies 6, possibly 7, maybe even 8, Eric, because it really would dig their hole.
Well, Jim, I can tell you, and I got to give credit to Fort Gratiot and Highland Woods, that run the same run and shoot offense than the Huskies varsity here does at Northern. I've took it on my I've took it on the numbers here the last couple weeks, having to play both 7th grade teams and 8th grade teams against those fellas with that wide run and shoot. And unfortunately for us kids on the south side, not too successful. And I'll tell you, it is a coach's nightmare.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to defense against, Eric. You have to kind of back off, and when you back off, that leaves the short game open. And it's very, very hard to defense against.
Well, you certainly have to execute on offense, and that's the key. In motion now is Schneider. Larison looking. Quick throw, now double pass. It looks like the ball is going to be thrown intended for Hampton. And a little razzle-dazzle on the part of Coach Delkey.
And you know what? There was a little mix-up in the Big Reds' defensive secretary assignment there, Eric. They had 2 guys on the left-hand side of the field there, Eric, and with only 1 defender, and the safety of the Big Reds wasn't able there to get over there quickly enough to give the cornerback a little bit of a hand there.
Well, now Northern faced with a 3rd down and 7 at the Big Red 25, just outside the 25. They move from our left to our right, the Big Reds defending the north end zone. In motion is Porty. He goes all the way to the left sideline. Larison rolling to his left, looking, throwing, and it is caught by Greg Clark, number 18, inside the 10, possibly at the 5. And the clock will stop with 14 seconds to go. And Northern, with that all-important 1 timeout left, will take it at this point. And that, Jim, a big, big reception.
Big reception again, Eric. Now, what's going on as far as the Big Reds defense is going is they're not really playing a man-to-man. They're kind of playing a zone particular area, Eric. And, again, that gives a little bit of room for the Huskies' offensive run and shoot. But then it's extremely hard to try to play that Huskies man-to-man.
Well, with this break in the action, Jim, how about our team away from home, the Sandusky Redskins? Where are they at tonight?
Well, my poor Redskins has had kind of a tough season so far this year, Eric. They're 0-4, and they're at Reese tonight, and I want to tell you, they're going to have their hands full tonight against those boys from Reese.
I think you were exactly right. Well, the situation is this. There's 14 ticks left on the clock for the Northern Huskies. They have it 1st down and goal from the Big Red 6. They lead by 7, 14-7. And it'll be interesting to see now with Coach Delkey. No timeouts left on the clock, I'm sure, obviously going for a play that will get the ball to the sidelines. He'll take the 6 points if he can get it in. If he can't, he'll get the clock stopped and potentially the field goal team on the field for the field goal attempt.
I believe what you got to look for is something quick and over the middle, Eric, on a slant pass.
In motion is Hampton. Larison looking and incomplete. Almost picked off by the Big Red defenders. Number 77, Duncan, through his hands. Number 40, Dougie Moore, had a chance also.
That would have been a very, very big play for the Porter and Reds defense, Eric, to take the ball right away from the Huskies.
Well, the clock will stop on the incomplete pass. 10 seconds now in Northern. 2nd down and goal. Into the ball game, number 12 is Brian Jameson.
Again, Eric, that was something short and quick, Eric, and don't be surprised if you see something very, very similar again.
Clark wide right, Jameson wide left. In motion is Hampton. Larison looking now into the end zone corner in the left side. The pass is just out of the reach of Jamison incomplete. Number 14, David Schultz, in on the coverage for the Big Reds. The clock will stop with 7 ticks now. Still time for Northern to get one more offensive play before they may look at that field goal attempt.
Now they've showed the pass 2 times in a row, Eric. Very well, you can see right now is possibly Larison on the bootleg that's got the first score of the ball game for him.
Well, we'll wait and see. Here we go. Big play, 3rd and goal from the 6. In motion is Hampton to his right. Larison looking to his right, looking still, throwing now into the end zone. Incomplete, just out of the reach of Greg Clark, number 18. And I'll tell you, he had the defender beat.
Yeah.
The clock will stop now with 2 seconds to go. It'll be 4th down and goal, and I've got to credit Coach Delke for his play selection here.
Exactly, Eric. What he did on that particular defensive quarterback, if you'll remember, he showed 2 inside ones prior to that, and then he went to the outside, and actually you have a tendency for that defensive quarterback to look for something inside.
On 4th down, no field goal try for Northern. Porty in motion. Larison rolling on the play action right, looking. The clock has run out. The throw is incomplete. The pass intended for number 12, Jamison, incomplete, and the Big Reds certainly have dodged a bullet as the first half comes to a close.
Very, very big bullet, Eric. And,
Holy
I think the Big
tamale.
Reds has got to be very, very happy to get off the field as it is with the score 7-14.
Well, that's the first half in what we told you was going to be a Jim Dandy here at Memorial Stadium. Our score, the Northern Huskies 14, the Big Reds 7. We'll be back following the intermission.